I'm just thinking about walking and thinking, and by thinking I mean that combination of emotional engagement and a kind of rational calculation. You know, in previous videos I've said that thinking, and this is just my definition, I'm not asking anybody to get on board with it, that thinking, the thing that I'm doing right now in my head and other people do, is this mix. You know, it is a kind of rational set of calculations that are completely imbued with this felt sense, this emotional engagement, and it's only when those things are productively entangled do we get this thing called thought. That's at least in my thinking. So I'm thinking about walking, and I'm thinking about that version of thinking and how emotion and rationality function within that. Because what I find, and certainly I find this on YouTube, but I also find it in the other world as well, is that, you know, if I respond to something based on my initial emotional state, I quite often make a lot of mistakes. You know, if I fire off a comment or a response video really quickly on YouTube, or if I'm in a one-to-one situation outside of this environment, in this environment, and I do it really quickly based on an emotional state, I often make mistakes. Not always, you know, sometimes I'm bang on, but other times I'm way off. Whereas if I do what I'm doing now, if I go for a long walk, I guess I'm thinking about this because of your video, Earl, about walking and that conversation. But if I go for a long walk and just let the processes take place, then quite often I come out of a different place able to make a different kind of response, a more measured response, or a more inclusive response, or one that takes into account the feelings and beliefs and attitudes of the people that are involved in this discussion, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? But I don't think what's happening there is that the emotions are subsiding and the rational, calculating self is taking over. I don't think I transform from James T. Kirk to Mr. Spock. I don't think that's what's happening, you know. I think it's that this emotional engagement, particularly complex emotions, because, you know, emotions aren't really single colours, are they? They're complex shapes, and they do all kinds of different things, and they have shapes over time. You know, they do things to you over time as they proceed through you. I think there's a lot of wisdom and intelligence in that. Not all the time, but I think it's doing something smart, that emotion. And I think you have to, well, for me at least, I kind of have to let it do its thing. And it can take quite a long time sometimes. I have to let it do its thing. And it's not until I've come out of the end of it, or it's not really come out of the end, not until that, not until it's gone quite a long way along, and then I'm able to put it into words, and I'm able to do something slightly more complex with my rational bits of my brain, informed by this emotional engagement, that I think I can make more sense. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a question of waiting until the emotions have gone and then making a rational decision, or whatever it may be, a rational statement. I think the statements, for me at least, which come out most rational, come out as a result, at least partially, of my going through emotional processes which do things with the calculated information, and, you know, and yeah, kind of feel their way through. Yeah, literally, yeah, feel their way through is a good way of looking at it. Feel their way through this morass of variables and intuitions and ideas. That's what I think. If it makes any sense, that's what I think.